Every year, the Champaign County Humane Society takes in about 3,500 animals. With so many mouths to feed and lives to take care of, it takes a lot to keep their shelter running.
It's very, very expensive. So everything we do is paid for by donation. So all of our vaccines, blood tests, food, everything has to come through and be paid for by donation. So it's very difficult.
But it takes more than donations to keep the shelter going. The biggest contribution to the Humane Society's success is its volunteers.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, since we're a private nonprofit, we have a volunteer board of directors, and they're in charge. They're in charge of the direction of our organization, and they do this on a volunteer basis. We also have about 100 active volunteers. They do things like help us clean, train dogs. They serve on committees that plan fundraisers. They do a tremendous job for us.
This is one of the outside dog runs where you can take the dog off the leash and let them run around, let them be themselves, get a good idea of their true personalities.
Before an animal can get to this stage, it must go through a process starting from the time it arrives at the shelter.
When an animal comes to us, the first thing we do is we ask a lot of questions of the people bringing in, what their history is like. Do they have medical records, things like that. So we review that. We go ahead and vaccinate the animals to protect them. And we review their history. If an animal is being brought to us because it has medical issues, we need to know about it right away so we can treat it or make sure our vet knows about it. After we kind of do that intake evaluation, we let them spend about 2 to 4 days at the shelter when we don't really bother them very much. We kind of let them be to get them acclimated to the environment. It can be very stressful after being in a home, coming to a cage, being around other animals. It's very noisy. It's very smelly at times, so we give them time to get used to being here before we do a behavior evaluation. For the dogs, we do the SAFER test, which is an ASPCA certified behavior evaluation to evaluate the rehoming possibilities for the dog. If they pass their behavior evaluation, then they go on to a medical evaluation. We have a full-time vet on staff. We do have medical staff who do physical exams. If there are medical issues, we treat them if we can, and then they move up for adoption. And then they're available until they get adopted, as long as they stay healthy and happy.
The Humane Society does amazing things to help animals, but it's important to know that there are actions that you can take to help too.
Organizations like ours exist because of the sheer volume of homeless animals. So if there's anything that people need to remember is that, first of all, most humane societies don't get any funding from their government, so it's important to remember that. And secondly, spay and neuter is really important. Keeping your animals inside is really important. Always to think about the responsibility and long-term cost of getting a pet so that you don't have a pet that you end up having to give up.
For more information on the Champaign County Humane Society, visit www.cuhumane.org.